if we would know then what we know now, we could have done a better job. But this was a new thing for all of us, so we just kind of winged it.
So we had been talking about roofs the whole first 5 years I was on the board, but it never really got anywhere. They would table it each month and talk about it, and we had some other board members believe that, yeah, the shingles can last another 5 years, and we could just keep repairing. And instead, in the lab about 2 years ago, was actually the project that I wanted to actually kick into gear, because we had been talking about it so long but not doing anything. So we tried using some of the same roofers that we were interviewing to do some repairs, major repairs already, and that way we wanted to see how we worked with them and how they worked, and we did that with at least 3 of the 7 that we were interviewing with.
Every time we had a leak, they were all of them were in the valleys. It was, I guess, around $2,500 every time we had to get it fixed, and we knew that the shingles weren't in bad shape, but the underlayment was missing, and that was what was causing a lot of the trouble. And we just decided we were tired of throwing good money after bad, and we just decided to bite the bullet and go for it. Our management company, I think, gave us some leads. I think we talked to 7 different companies, and some of them were eliminated pretty quickly, and we ended up with 2 of them that were final.
What I found, though, most roofers just wanted to give us one grand total number. We didn't get a lot of the details, except with EAS. And at the beginning I thought, oh, we don't need all those details. We don't need the cost per roof, per building. And that turned out to be one of the best pieces of information. I constantly referred back to it for invoicing. Initially in this project, we asked each company to submit a bid for just one building. That's how we started this project. And those prices were all over the place, because the sample unit that they might have bid on might have been a different size. My unit's one of the largest, so the prices were all over the place. And then after that, we decided let's get a price for the whole project. But when we'd go back and ask a couple of the other companies to provide us with the details by unit, some of the companies said, until you sign with us, we don't want to provide those kind of details.
A lot of the things that we should have done, we didn't find out until after we've experienced the project. But we would ask them how many people do they have on their crew, how long will it take you to do a quad, how are you going to take care of the waste, removal of the old shingles, damage prevention. We were concerned about that, especially the air conditioning, the outdoor air conditioning units.
Although we didn't know how important getting all the details by building was until we were getting into the final stages, because then we wanted to see different buildings and the different prices and the different sizes, because even though the roofers that we interviewed, they all basically said, all the buildings are the same size, but that wasn't true. And with the information that EAS provided us, it was amazing how they weren't all the same size.
A lot of the stuff we found out, we learned as we went along, like where do we put the dumpster? And we found out that that makes a big difference, because the equipter that he uses is a fantastic machine, but it's at a snail's pace when it's on the road. So if the dumpster is too far away, he spends too much time back and forth dumping the thing. So we decided that the dumpster has to be put as close as possible to the building he's working on.
Communication is key, because during this process you have so many questions, and I felt comfortable emailing the owner, the salesman. I always coordinated the invoicing and getting them paid. We wouldn't have looked at a company that just never communicated quickly or on our time schedule.
I would ask them where they buy their shingles from, and I would contact that company and find out how many bundles of shingles do they buy in a year's time to determine whether or not they could handle a job this big. Some of the contractors that bid this job were only used to doing single-family homes, and a job this size is a lot bigger.
So the other board member, Bill, and myself, we both worked pretty well together, and although I learned a lot about roofs, I'm just more inclined to be more of an organizer and financial person, and so it was almost every 2 days that if there were any kind of issues that Bill experienced, he would come to me and I would put them in an email and send them to EAS. I coordinated meetings during the project, inviting them up and sitting down to go over any of the open issues. So there was a lot of coordination behind the scenes.
Well, one of the things that was in our favor was that we had saved enough money in our capital reserve to pay for the project. One
of the things that we thought was pretty important was to get these roofers that were bidding up into our attics. The potential roofer should come in and go into 1 or 2 or 3 different units that are built differently, a 1-story, a 2-story, the clubhouse, and I think that was very important.
I watched every single building, not all day long, but I made several trips back, and I tried my best to find something wrong, but I couldn't.